This presentation. As you know, this is the fifth part where we are discussing on unit plot plan. Earlier we have discussed basic definitions, what is plot plan, why it is required, then what are the various inputs required to develop the plot plan. Then after developing the plot plan, what is the use of plot plan, how other disciplines are using this document. Then in last slide we have discussed the guidelines for development of plot plan. In that we have just discuss the introduction part and how we are locating column, furnaces and reactors. So in this video we will try to discuss the guidelines related to compressor and pumps. Okay, how we have to what all things we have to take care while locating the compressor and pumps. So let us start with the guidelines for compressor, how we are locating the compressor and what we need to take care while finalizing the location in plot plan. So compressors are located downwind of furnaces. As you know, furnaces and heaters are source of ignition, so we try to keep these things downwind of, so that nothing is transferred to ignition source. Also, the compressor is normally located in permanent shelter. Why we have mentioned normally? Most of the time we locate inside the shelter only, but in some cases with approval from client we can avoid permanent shelters. The compressor house can be fully covered by side cladding. Side cladding, what is side cladding and how this is done, we'll discuss in detail while we start designing compressor layout. Okay, the general arrangement of compressor house shall consider vendor drawings, because we have to design shelter also, so we require vendor drawings, because at the starting we don't have matured drawings with us, so whatever information we have, we start doing our layout. Then at that time we required some vendor recommendation also, because so many auxiliary units are there with compressor, tube oil, water consoles, everything is there, so we need to have some vendor recommendation. We prepare some layout and we share it with vendor. If they have any comment, they provide us. If they are okay with the space allocated, then they say okay, go ahead. Built-in maintenance equipment, traveling gantry with overhead crane. If you see, if we are going with the permanent shelter, we have to have EOT with us for various maintenance activity inside the shelter. So we have to take care of dropout area inside the compressor house. Clearance above compressor should be at least 3 meter. This thing will discuss in detail how much space is required above compressor, because inside compressor shelter, if we have EOT with us to do the maintenance activity, we have to allocate proper space for the movement of EOT. How much elevation is required, what is the width and length requirements are there, we discuss in detail in compressor design section. The substantial space required for lube oil, seal oil console shall be taken into consideration to prepare the unit plot plan. So once we have all this information, then only we can finalize the location of compressor. Okay, so we have to discuss all this thing with vendor also. With vendor recommendation, we can finalize the location and space allocation inside the plot plan. Here we have captured all the guidelines required for pumps. Okay, so let's start with the pump guidelines. Pump handling hydrocarbons and material above 230 degree Celsius shall not be located below air fin coolers. If you have some idea, air coolers are mostly located at top of air pipe rack. If the temperature handled by the pumps is more than 230 degrees Celsius, then this should not be located below the pipe rack, or we can say below the air coolers. If we are preparing plot plan for for tank farm, then pumps are located outside the dike well. Okay, this is fixed everywhere. Wherever we have dike, we have pumps outside the dike. Pump location to be selected depending upon the suction lift, okay, NPSH and hydraulic calculations stated by process. All these calculations are done by process only. Based on that, those information is given to piping team through pin IDs. Based on that, we locate these pumps. That means the NPSH and hydraulic calculations are very much required to finalize the location of pump. Then additional space for pump auxiliary equipment like seal port plans oil coolers of high pressure booster pumps shall be considered as per vendor arrangement. In most of the cases, we get this auxiliary equipment details at later stage of the project, but we need to discuss with mechanical team whether these reports are required or not. If required, then how much space it will take. We can just take tentative not to exceed dimensions from mechanical and finalize our pump space allocation. Pump location with respect to hazardous area classification. This information comes from HSC, so we need to ask HSC team also. Pumps are major source of oil leakage. So based on these leakage and everything, HSC gives some recommendation. So we need to consider all these recommendation to finalize the location of the pumps. Then economy of process plant. As we have discussed in starting slides, we have to have economical plot plan. Economical plot plan means it depends on the pumping cost. How much that way we have to look at all these pump uh, source of connection. I mean, if pumps are connected to column, then they should be located very much close to column, so that we can minimize the piping and we can simplify the piping. That way we can have some economical piping system. So all these things we need to take care while finalizing the location of pumps. How we are locating the compressors and pumps in our unit plot plan. In next video, we will try to cover similar guidelines related to exchanger and air cooler. I hope this is useful. See you in the next video.